Hey, so I just made the last video, made dinner, thought about it, went on time passages and saw that the super moon, or it's not even a super moon, the full moon is in Gemini, not Scorpio. So I felt like I should make another video and address that, and might as well. I enjoy doing this. So. And I feel like I figured out the setup so that you can see what I'm doing. Let me see if I. Yeah. Okay. So how's everyone doing? Welcome in, welcome in. See what's going on. What's the energy like? Who's here? What are we bringing to the table? Knight of Cups. Hey. Sticky. I got a bunch, I'm just gonna go with that. Oh, it's 3. I'll do 3. It's not too many. So, Knight of Cups, King of Cups, and 9 of Wands. Yeah, I'll do a modes. This is a modes, so you could say past, present, future if you want. Past, present, future. Or I'll do the modes, so and tie it together. So past, present, future. This would be cardinal, fixed, mutable. And usually the pattern is cardinal, fixed, mutable. But because it's cardinal, fixed, mutable, it's like still in order. I feel like that makes sense. So this is what you're going to be working towards, or where the potential is going towards. This is where you are right now, what's fixed, where you're comfortable at. And this is what may have happened, or you may be bringing to the table yourself. And the Knight of Cups really suggests, I think I had this in a different reading. I've done so many recently. There's emotional or spiritual communication that's happening, which can be slow but steady, but also, significant. It's worthwhile. In the present, there's emotional stability, and like purpose, poison purpose. King of Cups is fire cups. So passionate and purposeful, dharmic existence, like dharmic spirituality. Pretty heavy stuff that's good to exist in as often as possible, and seems like that's where we are right now, so this is a good time. 9 of Wands, potentially you may be a little beaten and bruised in the future, and there's kind of potential reminiscence about that. That's Sagittarius is the 9 of Wands, and 9 of Wands says, I've been there and seen that. I've fought the enemy before, and I know what's going to happen. And I've taken injuries before, and having that prowess can be a good thing, but also it can kind of leave you in a sort of fixity where you can be thrown off by, they give you a false pattern to mimic and then hit you where you're supposed to be looking, and you can have your attention guided. So in the future, there may be a drawing away from your current position of stability, and you know that, and that's why you're weary, because you see that, and you see that potential, and maybe now because of this reading, you're getting the message that there are things that come and swipe at your stability. So whenever you get it, it's a golden time, and you may have been dealing with something. Here, I'll do, so let's clarify. Ka-chow. Nope, none of them flipped. Nope. Prince of Discs, the POD, Prince of Destiny. For the Knight of Cups. So yeah, you may have tried to start a new venture, or like a new relationship, new routine, anything physical, something new added to your diet potentially. I would say that'd be Mercury energy is the Prince of Discs. Not necessarily, but he's riding the chariot, it looks like, with the Taurus. With the staff and the scepter, maybe it's like a Hierophant kind of get up, So, I guess it's supposed to be Taurian, so maybe it's a Venusian influence. Yeah, I guess if it's the prince, that's the princes are the air element, so it's air discs. You had some maybe a shortcoming with money or something, or some kind of physical fallout, and it's it's a long haul because it's an emotional trek. But now you're feeling stable, or maybe you've dealt with something so that you feel more comfortable. But let's get some elaboration on that. Okay, got 2. 10 and Fortune. 10 of Wands is oppression, Saturn and Sagittarius, and Fortune as Jupiter. Got the deck over there. Yeah, so the 10 of Wands, Saturn and Sagittarius, that's a restriction to happiness, and even though the 10s, they can be like perfection, because it's 10. Sometimes the weight of perfection is, especially spiritual perfection, with like a passionate perfection, like fire can only burn so bright, and because it has a fuel source, which is Saturn, the physical limits allow fire to get so big, which is 10 of Wands, and then it has to get smaller, and it has no choice, and there's no way for it to get beyond its fuel capacity. So like water is like an unending supply. So like a 10 of Cups is like, boundless joy, sort of, if you get it right. 10 of Wands is like, yeah, you see the 8, like there's the 4 and the 4 in the background, which is the self. 8 is the self, like the Leo card, but there's the 2 over the top of it. So there's 2 polarities that are blocking access to the self, according to this card. I don't know what Crowley's talking about there, but there's definitely codes. But it's good metaphor anyway. It looks like it's all very astrological, of course. We've got the cross and the quartering and the 8th thing, and then kind of just like restriction from yourself, and feeling maybe very self-critical. But King of Cups, so very, but yeah, I guess in the positive, you're feeling, it's like this is like an emperor, but you're like standing firm in your decisions, like emotionally. You're not letting your emotional vibration be affected by the oppression of others, or maybe even by your own, like sadisticness to yourself, potentially, if that's a factor. So like you're not letting self-criticism get to you, like you've made this be in the positive, even though it's oppression, the 10 of Wands. And then let's go forward to the 9 of Wands with the Sagittarius energy there too. It's like, see, you're gonna go back. It's the decrease. The 10 to the 9, it has to get smaller, but at the 9, you're like, I've been here before. And the 10 can be oppressive because it's perfection. So it's like, even though, like, that's something about the Crowley deck, calling it oppression is like, it leads into that, and that's a good guide. But like, the 10 of Wands has a positive aspect too, and I guess you have to be able to see Saturn and Sagittarius as a positive thing. But that's very Hierophant-esque, which could tie into the Prince of Discs, like I was saying. That's interesting. And then so then you have Fortune, which is also Sagittarius, which ties in with these guys. This is all very similar. King of Cups could be Jupiter, because Pisces and Saturn, or Pisces and Sagittarius. Knight of Cups. So Jupiter is guiding you now, and because you've been there before, you know what's about to happen. You're just plugging along, and that's what you need to do. And really pay attention now to the fact that you may be diminishing in your desire to participate or do what you're doing, but that is when luck hits you. Not when you're doing your best, not when you're the most into it and you're putting the most effort in. That's when you're just blocked by yourself, because you're just like, you're trying too hard. There is a too hard, like a try hard. There it is, a too hard. Jeez. And sometimes it's better to just like tap on the brake and go an appropriate speed and make sure you don't fly off the road. I'll do one from the Golden Tarot. And I'll do the bottom of those 2 decks. Say no. This deck is so big. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Awesome. Endeavor. Since I did 3 of the others, and kicked 3, I'll do 3. So, top. Oh, these are. I always read these in the upright, so. I forget my own rules. I guess I wouldn't have to, but I just like to do that. Okay, so. The devil being associated with your Knight of Cups, yeah, definitely represents some kind of financial restriction, or maybe there was some kind of addiction, or some kind of predisposition to taking advantage of, whatever physical opportunities come our way, and we can become obsessed and locked in with those things. And that can really slow our spiritual progress, We're still on the journey, but, you were basically surfing, let's see, surfing around the world, being pulled by a boar with a basketball and one of those hunting clubs with a crazy hat on. You're like, it's like the Fool, It is Mercury, but this is very interesting, very earthy. And so tying in the devil, it's like, is there something you're doing that you feel that you shouldn't have been doing and that you were trying to get over? And that's the past energy, and you were locked in on it. And in the present, you have perfect insight, right, into what's going on. Aquarius energy. Blessing your King of Cups, which is very nice because it's fire, water, and air. So in the present, you're not really thinking about the earth. There's no earth in the present row. And that's really good. And then in the future, yeah, you've got Judgment. Fortune and Nine of Wands. So yeah, Judgment, it means like this is a big time. Fortune guides you now, and it's just up to the fates. But that's not like any other time, We rarely have more control than we can handle. We actually have a surprising little amount of control, so understanding that Judgment is always in place allows fortune to be seen as something special instead of something that is like you kind of demand. It's like, oh, why can't I just be fortunate all the time? It's like, well, you can't do anything all the time. And we can trick ourselves into being able to do that through having access to goods and services and living our lives in certain ways. But at the end of the day, judgment always is in control, and so ultimately the future is where judgment lies. I'm just blanking on the rulership of judgment. That's why I keep talking about meandering. But let me do the bottom of these. So you've got the 6 of Cups for the writer. Which is like my favorite, and I like never see it. I've seen it recently more. And then the 1 of Cups for the Thoth. Let your intuition guide you. And again, know that, you know, the past is the past and the future is the future, and you don't have control over either of them, and you don't have control over now, you know, so you have to find what you do have control over, because, you know, we're all just caught in this, you know, no one actually has control over anything. It's all part of the perception game. So if we allow, you know, certain levels of anxiety to go away because we recognize them as being artificed, you know, and allow ourselves to relax, you know, you can get rid of lots of things like hypertension and you know, nervous tics and not being able to sleep and things like that, just by believing in spirit and knowing that nothing was yours to decide anyways, you know, and just letting things go in that way can be a huge step towards just making big blocks shift. And especially when you're looking for luck and you're kind of weary, you know, it's always good to have faith on your side, which Sagittarius energy, it's already seeming like you do. And it seems like your decision making, you know, right now is really good and you're like on fire. So, yeah, the 6 of Cups is, yeah, see how it's so nice? I used to be a gardener, and I would go to shops and just give them flowers, because why not, you know? Like, it's just what you do. And then there's this card, and I like would rarely ever see it, and now I see it kind of often. But yeah, it's a great one. You know, just emotional strength is more strength than physical strength, because physical strength, you can just kind of beat people up, you know. Emotional strength is like, spiritual strength is almost useless, you know, but that's what makes it so strong, because it's like, it's purposeless, and it is so easily defeated. But that's where all of our strength is, because it's us recognizing that we're just vehicles and we should enjoy every second. And with your significant water triangle, I feel like you've got a lot behind you and a lot of intuition working with you towards your future endeavors. So congratulations and good luck.